Hi guys and welcome back. In today's episode, we're actually going to do something really special. Why? Because we're going to review a special deck. Now this is the Verve Deck, and what's cool about this deck is that it was first printed by the Blue Crown, the US card company for the Blue Crown, and they sold it in mind that they want it to be a luxurious deck. Okay, so they want it to be something for luxury, they want it to be something prestigious, and the cool thing is this, before they actually printed the deck, before it was totally out towards the Blue Crown, it was fully sold out. And that's why it's so limited, alright? And this thing is really cool and good because not only that, as they wanted it to be really prestigious and luxurious, parts of the deck have this seal, they use shiny ink, metallic ink. And another part of it, they actually use a kind of leathery feel. So the cards have this leathery feel in mind, okay, as they created the deck. With that, this deck is one of the distinct deck that is not easily or usually found in the market. And this is a really cool deck. Now enough of me talking, what we're going to do is this, we're actually going to get down and open this deck up and have a look at the cards, alright? So let's come along with me. Alright, here we are opening the deck up. There's no sticker for the Verve Deck, but let's have a look at the front here. What we have here is basically this metallic look. Now if I actually take it out of the wrapper, you can see it reflect a little better, right? You can see the reflection of this metallic ink here, and this is basically the logo for the Verve Deck. At the top here, it's written the word Verve, and at the back here, you actually have the back with this, printing here, which look a little bit like leather. So that's what they are trying to do. There are two V's here. I believe it's to represent the Verve, and the border here is also shiny. Alright, so I'm going to try to reflect it along the light so you can see a little bit of it. Alright, so that's pretty much about the Verve Deck. At the bottom, it's basically the copyright, and at the sides, it's nothing. Alright, so if you put it this way, it looks really cool because at the side, you have nothing there. Now, there's no sticker for the Verve Deck, so let's just have a look at it. Okay, so this is the Verve Deck by the lan Rouge edition. I'm going to put the box aside first and we have a look at deck cards. Well, you can see here that the cards are pretty nice to dribble. It's an entirely new deck, and it's the first time we're actually opening it up. So what we have here, alright, is basically, let's look at the card. This is their Joker cards. Okay, so there are two Joker cards. They look really cool. Now if I place the rest of the deck aside, you can see two Joker cards which look identical. And what you have here is, why this looks so interesting and cool is because it looks very plain. Okay, there's not a lot of design or something like that. It's just a plain card with, once again, the design here. Okay, but having said that, apart from it looking nice, the colors are pretty normal. Okay, there's nothing shiny or anything special down here. It's just basically a printing of this design here and then this red strip there. The back here is basically, once again, have this design here which looks like they want to make it look like leather. And if you actually see the side, the border here, it's slightly shiny. Okay, it's just a tinge of shininess. Okay, the border here, the red border, is slightly shiny. Now if actually you see these corners at the side, they're slightly darker than the middle, so it actually fades out. Okay, and that's the kind of effect they want to do. Now this makes it look really cool and nice. So these are the two Joker cards. And then we go on. Let's see the whole deck. Okay, just go through the whole deck first. Slowly. Alright, so it's just basically all in the normal order. And we got this blank card. Now the blank card is good if you're a magician, otherwise you won't be using it. But that's okay, so that's a blank card there. And then they have the advertisement card. Now the advertisement card and the blank card looks the same at the back, but the front of this advertisement card is pretty cool. Once again, they used the kind of metallic ink to print on top of the card. Okay, and on this card you can see it's lan Rouge. It's pretty cool. Now next we're going to actually look at the Ace. the Ace of Spades. It's pretty nice and simple, and actually if you can see it, if I can just try to zoom in, let me see if I can get it in for you. You can actually see two V's over here. Okay, it's the same V that you see on the box here, okay, but it's on the Ace. So you see the two V's inverted, and then what you have here is basically the Verve word and luxury playing card. Alright, so the ink that they use for this is slightly shiny. It's not exactly the same, especially at the pips, okay? So let me just get that deck down again. Especially at the pips, it is not so similar as before, as the normal count of cards, okay? We have here, it's slightly, the ink that they use on these two sides is different from the one in the center. It's slightly shiny, okay? Similar for the word Verve and luxury playing card, it is using that kind of metallic ink to print. Now that's one of the A's. Let's try to find the other Aces and have a look at it. Here's the second Ace, and there you go, 3 Aces. So these A's are all very different and cool. So why are they cool? Let's have a look at it. Basically over here, you can see that they use this kind of like leather kind of print over here again, and the color is slightly shiny, okay? So on each side here it's shiny. Once again, the pips are shiny. That's the Ace of Diamonds, Ace of Clubs, and the Ace of Hearts. Now the Ace of Hearts may look very similar to the others, but if you actually look at the diamond and the hearts, it is slightly different compared to other cards. Why? Because the bottom of the heart here is slightly darker. Okay, so if you can see, the bottom is slightly darker than the top. There's like the shadow there. So a lot of work have been done to make sure that the cards look their best. So you have them here. If I may just put them this way. Next we actually go on to the normal cards. So we just take out the spade suits here. And if we look at the spade suits, they are very cool because the ink used in each of these, the pips as well as the numbers, are actually shiny. Okay, so they're actually shiny metallic ink that is being used. You can't really see it so clearly, but if you are in person, you can actually come out in person, you can actually try to see it. I'll try my best to actually reflect it along the light. As you can see over here, the ink is red, and then we've got gold, we've got black, and all these are all slightly metallic. Okay, so the ink is metallic. It's not the normal kind of ink. It's not just pure red or pure yellow here. It's actually reflective, and that's what makes it really interesting. Okay, another thing that you can see down here is that there's no border, and that makes these queens and everything really look slightly different compared to the normal queens that we have seen so far. Okay, and it's really interesting, and that's what makes this card really special. You can see the whole crown here is filled with gold. Alright, I try to reflect it. Hopefully you can see it on the camera. And that's basically the Ace, the spades, the black ones, and then the black cards. And now we go on to the red cards. So the red cards are similar. They use the kind of metallic ink on the pips. Now the pips are slightly thinner. If you can see carefully, it's slightly different compared to the ones on the standard Rider decks or even Aladdin decks that we see around. Another thing that you want to take note of is the 2 here. The numbers are custom. Alright, so it's pretty standard pips, but custom numbers. You see them here. If you go on to the Jack, Queen and King, it's similar to before. They use shiny ink to do this, so it's really nice. Alright, so now we're going to go through a little bit on the handling. Alright, now that we have actually seen the cards, we've seen the spades, we've seen the black cards and the red cards, and the back are all pretty standard backs. What we're going to do now is actually to go into the handling. Alright, so let's check out the handling. Alright, so here's the handling for the Verve deck. Well, you can see down here at the start of the video I was telling you that it's really nice to dribble on the first touch, and what happens is that this is actually made with B Casino stock. Alright, so it's B Casino stock with magic finish. Now, what this really means is that these cards last really long, okay? So if you use it and then they start to bend a little bit, just put them one side. You can actually press them a little bit, and after 2 to 3 hours you can take it out and it feels brand new again. Okay, so this is what is cool about this deck. And another thing is that you can actually do a nice fan with this. Okay, just a casual fan. You can see the fan turns out pretty nice. You can also do very nice spreads with this, so you can almost see every single card here. And well, the design can be seen when you do the spread, and this is really cool. Why? Because I told you that the corner is actually using shiny metallic ink, right? And that really makes this whole thing look really nice. From my point of view, if you're not looking through the camera, you can actually see this kind of like a reflection from the light. So it's very good for, like we said, it's very good for springs. It is very good for handling. Okay, whatever magic moves you have, or even card playing, it feels really good in your hands. And you can spread it well. You can do fans. You can even Pharaoh shuffle them really well. So let's have a look at it. So, okay, so Pharaoh shuffling, not an issue at all. Check that out. It's really nice, okay? And you can even just push it in this way and it goes in very nicely. Let's try that. Check that out. Check that out, okay? So nice. It's Pharaoh shuffle. Okay, I'm not gonna mess this order up now. So I'm just gonna pull it out, but it's really good. And the Verve deck has lived up to its name. I would really say that I recommend this deck. If you can get one, that's great. Alright, I've got limited stock for this, and I really think that this is one of the decks that you really want to take and, you know, play with it, especially if you're a magician or a flourisher. Just have it with you as a good collection. And you know what, don't keep it in the deck box. Okay, I know many of us, we buy decks and then we say, well, this is so special, I'm not going to use it. Also, take it out and use it because this is so cool. It's so nice to play with, it's so nice to handle with. Just take it out and play with it, and then maybe you can keep it for a while under card press or so. Okay, but after some time, take it out and have fun with it, and that really makes this deck very worth. Alright, thank you very much for having a look at this video on the review for this Verve deck, and I think once again the Blue Crown has lived up to its standard of creating really cool decks. And with that, I end off this video. Thank you very much, and do like, subscribe, and let me know what you like about the Verve deck. Alright, thank you very much. Stay tuned for Christmas because there's probably going to be a magic giveaway very soon. Thank you very much.